Welcome, everyone. So I am working on the Hero's Journey project along with you. I wanted to show you this slideshow that has my examples in it. And then I wanted to give you a glimpse at how I'm going to do step number 2, just kind of show you my thought process for step 2. But first, let me show you what I did for step 1. So you guys are going to have a link to this. It's a simplified version of the slideshow that just has my examples. If you find yourself like, I don't know what to do, this is an example you can look at. All right, so for step 1, explore the concept of hero. Just like I told you to do, I used the right-click trick. Then I watched some videos. I put together the playlist, so I watched a lot of videos. Then for my multimodal option, I chose option A, images, videos, drawings, and explanations to explore while you are drawn to your hero. So I put in some artwork by an artist that I like. It's actually artwork of some people that I consider to be heroes, Tina Turner and Lauryn Hill. These are people whose music has inspired me throughout my life. So I put these images, wrote a little explanation. I also included a video, a link to a video for a song that I listen to when I need motivation. And then I also added this tribute to Dr. Whittington and her art. Mr. Liebhardt actually sent this out, and I had saved it because I was like, okay, this is actually really inspiring. Dr. Whittington, if you don't know her, she teaches art at the JA and SA, and she's an artist. She creates amazing art, and she uses her talents to uplift others and draw attention to injustice. By remembering people who were silenced by violence, she uses her voice to speak for those who were silenced. So that's just kind of an explanation of how she inspires me too. So, that's one way to complete step 1. Then once I thought about, what's a hero? What does hero mean to me? I came over to the writing step. And I just sort of started doing a free write, just kind of journaling. What were my thoughts? What did I think of this? And that's what I wrote here. And then at the end, I came up with a definition of hero. And so once I got to that, I was like, okay, this time, like this definition I wrote, this is what I would probably use in an essay. So I highlighted it and then I rewrote it as a sentence. So I created a definition that feels good to me. A hero is a person who demonstrates self-reliance and inspires others to persevere in the face of systemic oppression. So that was how I decided to define hero. All right, so now let's look at step 2. Collecting evidence. So this is where you're going to use the text snap method that I taught you about last week. You can use some of the evidence you found last week, or if you're like, yeah, no, I didn't take a snap of any of the parts that I want to use in my essay, you can collect new evidence. So what I'm asking you to do is, now that you kind of have an idea in your head of what a hero is to you, I want you to go back through the virtual text or the graphic novel and collect evidence that supports your opinion on if Odysseus is a hero or not. So to do this, I thought about, okay, what part, first of all, I had to come up with my opinion of Odysseus, and I can see both sides, but I decided to go with he's a hero. And so I was like, okay, what does he do that really is motivating or inspiring to me? Because my definition of hero was about being inspiring and motivated even when you're feeling oppressed. And so I was like, okay, what part of that fits with Odysseus? So I thought about that for a while, and then I went through the text and found my evidence. Now, a couple things. So the multimodal activity is actually just completing the text snaps for this, because that is a multimodal activity in itself, because you have an image plus your analysis. So you have a couple of options. Complete 3 text snaps that support your opinion of Odysseus. So if you think he's a hero, just 3 snaps that show that he's a hero. Or complete 2 snaps that support your opinion and 1 that shows the other side. I chose option B. So I'm going to have 2 that show Odysseus as a hero, and then 1 that is a counter argument about him not being a hero. Option C and D, you could collaborate with a friend if you wanted to. This is an example of a very fancy text snap I did one day when I was trying to come up with ideas. I'll let you explore this at your own pace if you want to. And then my definition of hero kind of changed, so I decided I didn't want to use this for my project at all. So when I was thinking about Odysseus being a hero, I was thinking about, the struggle he goes through, and that the lesson he really teaches me is that never to give up, even if it seems like it's impossible, even if you feel trapped, even in the face of people telling you you can't do something, never give up hope. So I thought back to Odysseus being trapped on Calypso's island. I took this picture from the graphic novel. I also took this screenshot from the ritual text. This is when Hermes arrives at Calypso's island, and it says, "But he saw nothing of the great Odysseus, who sat apart as 1,000 times before, and racked his own heart groaning, with eyes wet, scanning the bare horizon of the sea." So then I analyzed this, and I explained why this evidence shows that Odysseus is a hero to me. Now, this that I typed, this is like rough draft style. First time I typed it, haven't gone back, might have mistakes in it, and that's okay because this is a draft. The first time the reader is introduced to Odysseus, he is groaning, with eyes wet, as he dreams of going home. His depressed demeanor is juxtaposed with the reader's expectation of a hero. To juxtapose means when you put an idea with another idea to show that they're opposites, to show a contrast. So I felt like Odysseus's description was purposefully put there to make us think like, that's not what I think a hero should be. However, it is his vulnerability and humanity that truly makes Odysseus a hero. People cannot relate to perfection, but they can relate to a struggle. So I essentially went back to this idea I had come up with in step 1, that a hero is a person who demonstrates self-reliance and inspires others to persevere in the face of systemic oppression. And I found a place in the text where I felt like Odysseus was doing that. Even though he's crying, even though he's upset, he is persevering. He is holding on to his dream, even though he's literally being imprisoned by a goddess who won't let him go. So hopefully that shows you a little bit of the connection between steps 1 and 2. And in the next video, I'll go a little deeper into my analysis of evidence.